right, so we're going to step into good morning, everybody. Dr. Michael here. Welcome to day 2. Super excited. Hopefully you enjoyed yesterday, the scheduling part. That is a really big deal. People do not realize how important their time is. They sell it like cheaply. Y'all should be all making thousands of dollars an hour because you're worth it. My oldest daughter is in college, and she was like, "You're not really pushing me to go to school." I'm like, "No, because you should do what you want to do, because there's so many ways for you to be an entrepreneurial that I want you to go to school, but I don't want you to get trained with the whole like chunk part of the mill work." And you know, she's been using her time incredibly well. She's phenomenal. But I really hope that when you did your scheduling and you looked at it and you were honest. The honesty with yourself is the hardest part. Like, yeah, I really do that. Today's going to be worse. Requires a lot more honesty with yourself. But the only way you're going to get better is self-evaluation and focusing on improving those areas. I don't want to say self-improvement because it sounds hokey, but you have to know where you're at to know where you're going. And today's a really big day on that. But just to kind of finish up yesterday, you've got your 9 to 5, or if you're doing, online marketing, you're like, okay, I'm prospecting, I'm doing this. If you're a physician, these are my office hours. Same thing with attorneys. I actually deal with more attorneys and physicians, healthcare providers, just because that's my friend pool and the people that I know and I associate with. But I remember being wide open, having no time. When I was in practice, I was literally a slave to my practice. I never took vacations. I never went anywhere. And then I was making great money and I was a slave to my practice. And then if took a downturn, I didn't have the cash or whatever, I had more time. And it was always this balance of I have money, no time, I have time, no money. How do I get time and money and a great relationship and great kids and go to Aikido and do martial arts and do rock climbing and then I realized that if I didn't write it down, it didn't happen. And so that became the most important piece of paper, other than the one that just blew by. I'm back. I have the schedule for today. No. And so what I ended up with is, if it was important, I made the list and I found a time for it. Even if I didn't get to do it as much as I wanted, I got it in there, and that's what built me up. So make sure that you do things that build you up, that you get the important things done. Time with myself, time with my wife, time with my kids, time for my hobbies, my personal growth, where I'm going. Yep. So the wind is doing really well here, so I'm just going to hold on to these. They're not actually notes, it's my schedule. So hopefully you took that and you go, okay, if you can get 5, maybe even 10 hours a week to just focus in on your own mindset, meditation, and do some goal setting, you'll be amazed at what you can do. And you're going to want to do that because today's lesson is money. Everything is about time and money. Most people are selling their time for money, and there's those of us that like to buy our time back and will spend any amount of money to get it. Learning to leverage it, how to grow a business, how to brand it, go online and all that stuff. Really important, but you really have to know where it is. I always think of Jerry Maguire, so show me the money! He gets all nuts and crazy, and there goes the lamps. That's hilarious because you can actually see in the background. I'm just going to have fun with it because it's there. And there's Hannah. Ha! We got the reflection. She's been hiding. She's brilliant.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll just say hi.
Hi.
She's the one making me do this. And the reality is I want to show you the money. I want to show you your money. Most people live in a constant state of lack, and they have a paycheck to paycheck problem. And they don't know why, and they can never get ahead. And those are all things that we'll talk about on the 30-day challenge, in the 30-day challenge, about mindset, goal setting. Negative goal setting is worrying. Where's it gone? What's wrong? I want is a constant state of lack versus desire and move forward towards it. But we'll get into that. That was just a taste of what's in the 30-day program. But we live in an era right now of the most self-made millionaires in history. there are literally thousands of people becoming millionaires daily in today's society. And most people are like living paycheck to paycheck. And it's like, I got my paycheck. I'm a king. Let's go shopping. Let's go party. And then the next 4 days, they're like, we'll work for food. It's just crazy. And there's always, always, always more month than money. That was us growing up. I was, my mom is one of the most amazing people in the world. She did a great job with the 3 kids. But my dad died when I was young and left my mom a single mom with 3 kids. And, at that time, that was hard. And so that's why we started the Poppy Foundation, which my mom married my dad's best friend 10 years later. He was my Uncle Lou. So it was one of those deals where, if anything happens, take care of my family. And he really did a good job. He was absolutely my best friend, my mentor. He was my stepfather. He was my dad. And he helped us out a lot. But, even then, there's always more month than money. And so many Americans live that way. So many college students are like flipping cushions just so they can go get a large fries. They're like, I'm checking the couch, checking the chairs, checking all this stuff. And yet we live in an era where, there will be 2,000, 3,000 more millionaires created today. And you have to look and go, what do I need to do? Oh, it's over there. Okay, this is fun. Anyways, so we're going to start with that. So, give you an analysis of why we're going to do what we're going to do with this budget and schedule and all that stuff. We are going to say that you are out of town and you just found out that your favorite shop at the mall is having a 1-hour flash sale. Everything's 70-80% off, and it's where you go. My kids and my wife, they all go to Lululemon. They've gotten me a bit addicted to that, but then I really do like Eddie Bauer. But neither here nor there. You're going to show up at the mall, and you're like, this isn't my mall, so I don't know where it is, and I've only got a few minutes to go. So you spend 10 or 15 minutes getting there, and you run up and you're looking for the kiosk. There's the kiosk. You get to it. You look, where's Eddie Bauer? Where's Lululemon? And you're like, it's right here. Cool. And you go, where am I? I'm right here. And you go running off to the right, but you didn't realize that somebody had moved the dot. And you're supposed to go left. You're on the wrong side. So you waste all this time spinning your wheels trying to find, and you're like, it said it was over here. When if you had known where you were at, it would have been really easy to get to. Most people spend a lot of time moving their dot. Before I figured it out, I was a compulsive dot mover. What does that mean in finances? It's really simple. If you have ever spent a paycheck 3 or 4 times before you've gotten it, like, hey, I got some extra hours in, your thought is, I can pay off that stuff that I owe. Oh, hey, this shirt's on sale. I have more money coming in. Yeah, cool. I'm glad we got the shirt. I got to get going. Do you want to grab a bite to eat? Well, now you're spending the money that you haven't earned yet to pay off the bills that you got the extra hours for. And so then you get there and you're like, oh, wow, forgot about the taxes thing. And then you get ready and it's like the day you're headed into work, driving in, and the next thing you know, your water pump goes out. And so not only do you not have this extra money coming in that you had spent from last month, and you kind of nickel and dimed it till you got there, now you have a need for it, and you're now further behind. And so you get this debt ratio that's going higher and higher and higher, and there doesn't seem to be a way to really nail it down. Well, these things that were blowing around, and I said they were not my notes, they're not my notes, they're for you. This is actually my notes for my budget. This is the one that I'm giving you. I'm not actually going to show you my budget. But it's right here. You can download this form. Hannah has stuck it somewhere up, down, left, right. Hey, Macarena. And you want to fill this out. It's like mortgage, cars, if you got 1 or 2, food, water, drinks, gas. The thing about food that throws most people is Chick-fil-A is food. And I would actually break that down again. Child care, health insurance, but you got tech, 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess I need to fix that. So 4, 5. Tech things are like Netflix, Audible, Spotify. Gotta have my music, my iTunes. All these things, you want to list. Next category you've got, home repair, things like that. And so what I want you to do is I want you to download this form. It'll take you just a few minutes. I mean, there's only like 20 real categories. Go sit down in front of your bank. Open your statement and start filling in those totals. What will surprise you is where you waste money. Where I'm going to guilt you is most people have a Netflix account, they have an Audible account, they have a Spotify account, they have an iTunes account, all these entertainment accounts, but they don't realize that you can get QuickBooks online for $15 a month, which helps you manage your money and see exactly where it's going and helps you with taxes. So I want you to go through that, use what happened last month, because you want the whole month. And then you want to look at where you're at in your job world. Where do you make your money? How much is your paycheck? How much goes to taxes? You may say, well, I make $15 an hour. No, that means you make $9 an hour because they take $6 out for taxes. Oh, yeah, there's that tax thing that changes everything. That's why most people end up with more month than money. They're not budgeted, or they're like, I'm really tired, I need a $6 Starbucks. Well, I get the medium, so it's only $4 or $5. But they do it several times a week, and then they grab some Chick-fil-A because they don't have time. We eat all organic, and my wife and I kind of went and butted heads. And I'm like, there's a lot of money in food. She goes, we have 5 kids. But what was killing us was we'd buy groceries, but then we would, we'll just grab something to eat on the way. So then like I said, my wife, before, she's a great cook, and the girls want to cook, so they started food prepping with really good food, so we spent more money in groceries, real high quality groceries, but we food prepped. Boom. It was an easy way to save money, and we eat way better, because we can buy a, tenderloin that's, 8-10 pounds of high quality filet mignon beef for $70-$80. I can't take my kids out to dinner for $70-$80, but I can feed them steak for a week with that. So there's lots of different strategies to handle your money and your finances. Again, we get into more and more on that in our 30-day challenge of like how to set up the budget, how to set up food budget, how to get your technology under control, how to get your spending under control. But right now, I just wanted you to really take a look at it and go, oh wow, I had no idea. This is what allows you to say, here's the dot, here I am. Where do I want to go? The question you have to ask yourself now is really simple. With my budget, do I make enough to live? Or am I living beyond my means? It's really that simple. When my couple of chiropractor friends that I've known for a couple of decades are like, you retired again, didn't you? I said, yeah. And they're like, why do you do that? And I'm like, well, my dad died when I was younger. I was 4 when he had surgery, 7 when he died. Hannah's in the back taking pictures. She's like right there. And I had a really good fortune in 2008 when everything crashed and we lost it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to retire for a year every 5 or 6 years and enjoy what I've got and build up a brand. And this whole Dr. Michael series of the free 3 days and doing a 30-day challenge to take control of your life and all those things are a result of this most recent retirement type thing and working online and moving it forward. And it's about working smarter, not harder. You have just looked at your money and your dot says you are here and you want to be here and you're way down here. You can you may need to go get a second job. And if you remember yesterday, I talked about 168 hours a week, 40 hours a week, 56 hours to sleep, eating, another whole 40-hour job, and you still have 25 hours of free time. That is literally, you have almost 3.5 hours a day to waste. And that's if you have 2 full-time jobs. I know it was hard to look at and realize, but everybody has time. If you're like me, I try to compress, get Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week. It will help you buy back more time. It will help you consolidate and accelerate your money-making habits. One of my favorite books right now is Happy Pocket Full of Money. I grew up in the South, I'm in the Bible Belt here, but it really takes the concepts of money, wealth, manifesting, quantum physics, and puts it in a statement that says, look, here's where you are, and here's how you have to fix your mindset. Most people are like, I can't believe my life, it always goes wrong. That's why. You're literally putting out there that I need shit to go wrong, stuff to go wrong. I want it to go right. You have to put yourself in the mindset where everything works out for my best. Even if it's horrible, it will work out for my best. It will improve my finances. I'll be in a better place. Great example is Abby and I were out beginning of this year, and we had a really nice Lexus, and it was great, but we have 5 kids, and it really sat 5 people. And so Ab was out writing goals. And, you know, she's like, we really want a white Lincoln Navigator, and she's really awesome at manifesting. If you ladies want to work with somebody brilliant and you're not really looking to work with a guy, that's awesome. My wife is freaking amazing. You know, her life story rivals most, and she's really got a heart to seriously empower women, and not from the bullshit standpoint of, oh, look how amazing my life is and you can have it too. No, like, she was just out here and the baby's running around. She's got curlers in her hair, and she's talking to Hannah, and she's like, and I'm telling you, this is how it is. It's just real. She's a mom, 5 kids, professional. She's got it figured out, and she'll tell you there's no figuring out. You just put it on the schedule and you run with it. But that said, you can work harder, you can work smarter. We have, like I said, the 30-day online challenge. Really helps get things in line. Figure out where your money is, figure out where you want to be, and let's get it done. Tomorrow, we are going to do some goal setting stuff. I've coached, can't even tell you how many chiropractors. Just because I was in that space, I knew how to increase revenue, generate real cash, because they have a lot of overhead, they help a lot of people. But it used to be $5,000 for a weekend, and tomorrow, for those of you that make it, I'm actually going to be giving you the actual goal setting sheet and strategy that they would pay me $5,000 to come in and do. And that's going to be my gift to you, to really show you how to get ahead, figure out what you want, to dream big again and go forward. But in order to dream and go forward, you got to say, I am here. Do I need another job? Do I need to work harder? Do I need to work smarter? Do I need a side hustle? Big thing on the money. Another aspect of the side hustle is the tax deductions. Most people don't realize that they pay way too much in taxes. In our 30-day, we get into how, you can incorporate yourself, you get an enormous amount of tax stuff. I introduce you to Larissa, who's my personal accountant and has saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars by showing me the proper way to set up my life. Again, that's in the 30-day, but tomorrow we're going to go over goals and strategies and get you dreaming again. Y'all have a great one.